Okay, you guys, welcome back to my channel. So, I'm back. If you look into my eyes, you can tell that I'm sick. I believe you guys can see it. It's not anything that I can hide either. And I don't know my volume because my ears, both ears, they're corked. Okay? You know, like when you're flying or when you're at high altitude, my ears, they're corked. So, if someone calls me tone deaf today, I can't even be mad. I can't be mad at all. I can't. No, I have a voice. That's a positive. I have a voice, but I don't know my volume. I don't know if I'm talking loud. I don't know if I'm talking soft because my ears, both of them are corked. Isn't that funny? I have a sinus infection for those who might be wondering, what the heck is going on with this lady? I have a sinus infection. But anywho, we're not here to talk about me because guess what? The circus must go on, honey. The circus must go on. The show must go on, honey. The show must go on. The circus must go on, honey. The circus must go on. The show must go on, honey. The show must go on. No. Bia is clapping back at Cardi B. And I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud of her. As you guys can remember, I said to you guys, I hope Bia claps back at Cardi B because Cardi B, like, what the heck is wrong with Cardi B? No, in case you guys have missed it, it was maybe 2 weeks ago that Bia, you know, Stefon Diggs and what happened at the Super Bowl and, you know, everyone and their mamas were talking about it, right? So Bia made a comment saying this dude has more baby mamas than catching yards or something to that effect, right? Bia said this dude. She never said this girl. She never said anything that would indicate that she's talking about Cardi B, right? But evidently, Cardi B loves to carry load on her head. So Cardi B picked it up and she put it on her head. Even though Bia was not talking to her, she picked it up and she put it on her head. And while she was on one leg of her tour, I don't even remember what city Cardi B was at that time, right? But Cardi B was like, not because me and my baby daddy ain't smashing, it doesn't mean that you get to talk about him, bitch. You know? But everyone was talking about Stefon Diggs. Everyone. The media outlets, the blog sites, you know, the children in Africa, the school children in England. Everyone was talking about what took place, right? And as such, when Cardi B clapped back at Bia, I was saying that is so unfair because everyone is saying something. So if you're not mad at everyone, why are you targeting Bia specifically? Yes, I'm aware that they have had past beef, but Bia wasn't talking about you. And what she said, it wasn't a lie. He played horribly in the Super Bowl, which everyone said, and he has a lot of baby mamas. So where was the lie, right? But this is what Cardi B does all the time. She loves to pick on those who she thinks they are weak fences. So she clapped back at Bia saying, not because me and my baby daddy ain't smashing, it doesn't mean you get to talk about him, bitch. So Bia was out. She was outside having some fun in her two-piece bikini with her natural body that God gave to her. And she says, she captioned her post. She did a backflip. She was at the beach. Seems as though she was on a yacht or a boat or something. And she said, I'm not in the gym. I ain't go to DR because Cardi B has been saying she's going to go to, first she said she was going to go to Colombia after they were saying, her ass is so big, she said she was going to go to Colombia. And then she said she was going to go to the DR. So Bia, was at the beach, and Bia was like, look at me. I'm slim trim. I'm perfectly and wonderfully made because this is the body that God gave to me. I don't need to go to the gym, and I don't need to go to the DR. So when I saw Bia with this clapback, man, I was so proud of her. I said, you go, girl. Yes. Stand up for yourself. Let no one treat you like a weak fence. I'm so happy Bia clapback. I am so happy because I want to show you guys something. And you see the barbs, the premature barbs made me realize this. The premature barbs brought this to my attention. You guys remember I said my daughter is a premature barb. She's one of them. She's one of them. It is what it is, right? Cardi B will come out and she'll be loud about something, right? And I'm going to give you guys an example of how she loves to one-up on women, thinking that she's better than other women and thinking that she has a playbook to men that no other woman has. That's how Barnaby behaves. Barnaby behaves like she has a playbook to men that no other woman has. So a couple years ago, when Offset was cheating on her low-key, she came out and she was, I don't remember if she was inside the building or outside, and she was like, I'm going to tell you girls how to keep a man and how to get him paying all your bills. Because many of y'all can't keep a man. Loud, wrong, and strong. And when she did that video, everyone dragged her ass. Because it was like 2 weeks prior to that, Offset was outed for cheating on her and it was exposed, right? So the internet dragged her ass and said, who are you to tell it? Because she was saying these bitches out here don't know how to keep a man and they don't know how to get man to pay all their bills, right? So when she came with that, the internet dragged her. Even her fan base, they dragged the shit out of her, right? She wasn't happy about it. She crashed out and she carried on, and the internet stood 10 toes down on their words, and they told her, you're in no position to be giving anyone any advice, right? No, let's move forward. Let us move forward. Because if you don't know how to observe these little things that Barnaby does, you would think that Barnaby is an innocent Abby when she's not. She loves to throw rocks and hide her hands, right? So, let's fast forward now, right? Barnaby called Trump advisor a few days ago a dirty wet dog because he said some of her affiliates are allegedly involved in the butt oaks against Nicki. They didn't say she was involved. They said some of her affiliates, right? And she came out at Alex Bruisewitz and she was like, I'm going to sue you. You're lying. I want you to show me where any of my affiliates is involved in such thing. So Alex was like, okay, here's the receipt. You're affiliated with this and this person are affiliated with this and this program. So that's your affiliation. So if Alex Bruisewitz never came out with receipts, she would have gotten away with that. And she said she was going to sue the man. So after Alex Bruisewitz came out with a receipt, She was like, how am I supposed to know who my people are affiliated with? I'm not going to know everyone they're affiliated with. I'm not going to know everyone they're working with. It's not possible for me. So when she went off and saying, it's not possible for me to know that. It's not possible for me to know, I'm just translating her text into audio for you guys. She didn't vocally said it. She made a post on Twitter, but based on how she talks, in my head, that's how she sounds, right? And if Alex Bruce never came out with receipts, that man would have been the liar. And this is how she plays mind games with her fans all the times. These are the things that she does. And when she's cornered, she then plays victim. Give you another example. So she had her baby, and many people realized that when she gave birth, things were different this time. No one was seeing any photos of her and Stefon Diggs in the hospital with the baby. And people were saying that if it was Offset, they would see Offset, bad to bad. And she went on live and she said, have you ever had a best friend? Have you ever had a best friend? I mean, someone who talks to you every day, and if they don't talk to you every day, it's like they can't live, She said something to that effect, giving reference to Stefon Diggs. So she's saying that her and Stefon Diggs, they're so close that the guy can't live without her. And then Selena Paul came out and exposed that Stefon Diggs ditched her for 3 days after she gave birth. And we saw what happened at the Super Bowl. Stefon Diggs and her had a major falling out, right? So the point is, if you don't know how to stand up for yourself against Cardi B, she will pick on you and get away with it. Yes, she will. She will pick on you and get away with it. So, as such, when Bia clapped back at her, Bia had every right to. And even most recently, this is one other primary example, right? You guys remember it was just like 3 days ago at one of her shows, before she started one of her songs, she was like, I'm too grown to be played with. You never had a bad bitch like me. And many niggas out here are praying to have a bad bitch like me and all of that jazz, right? And then when everyone said that she was throwing jabs at Stefon Diggs, the internet dragged her ass for that. Because they're saying Stefon Diggs never played with you. You played with yourself. Stefon Diggs never hid who he was. You are just in consistent denial. So the internet dragged her ass for it, right? After she got brutally massacred by the internet, she made a post and she said, "Dear blogs." She didn't even acknowledge that the media outlets were saying the same thing. Everyone was saying the same thing. She's throwing shades at Stefon Diggs, right? The only people who weren't saying it are the bobblehead fans. Some of her fan base, they are bobbleheads. Not all of them, some of them. So after everyone was saying it, she came out and she was like, "Dear blogs, not because I said something, it doesn't mean that I'm talking about someone. That's just my little razzle dazzle before my song, right?" But the point of that is, if she never got dragged, it would have been nothing. If the internet didn't drag her and said, "Leave Stefon Diggs alone," because that man didn't do anything. That man is a womanizer, and you knew he was a womanizer. So why are you doing that to the guy? If she never got dragged, she wouldn't have a disclaimer. It would have just swept under the rug and all of that. But because she got dragged, she wants us to know that, oh, she wasn't talking about Stefon Diggs, right? So when she lashed out at Bia the other day, because she wasn't held accountable for that, she was talking to Bia, and there was no counteraction for what she said then, because no one came to Bia's defense. But once the internet clocks her ass, she withdraws and say, I wasn't talking about that, or I was just this, or I was just that. No one came to Bia's protection. So she has no excuse for what she said about Bia, and she's standing behind what she said about Bia, because it is Bia she was talking about, and she never denied she was talking about Bia. Everyone and their mama said she was talking about Bia, and she never denied it. But when she got dragged for Stefon Diggs, she said she wasn't talking about Stefon Diggs. That's how she works. That's how she operates. That's how she manipulates. That's who she is. And if it wasn't for the premature barbs, I wouldn't be able to pick up on these things. So it is the premature barbs that I've learned these things from. And when the premature barbs were talking about it, I was like, I don't see it. But they were like, pay attention, start making note of it, and you'll see the pattern. Just like what she did when she was about to release her album. She threw shades at Nicki consistently, and Nicki was minding her own business. Nicki wasn't saying anything about her. And when Nicki responded, Nicki was the bad guy. And then, luckily, the Impressive channel has a huge platform, and Impressive did a video showing where Cardi B was shading Nicki. So if Impressive never did that, many people wouldn't have seen it. And these are the things that Barney B does repeatedly. She throws rocks, hides her hand, and gets away with it repeatedly. And this is why I was saying I want Bia to clap back at her, because she loves to pick on people who she sees as weak things, because Bia wasn't talking to her. Bia wasn't talking about her. And if it was the court of public opinion was in session when Bia spoke, it's not as though the court of public opinion wasn't in session. The court of public opinion was in session when Bia spoke. Bia was just like all of us weighing in. The court of public opinion was in session. The time didn't pass. The conversation didn't pass. It was the peak of the conversation. So why is it that it is okay for all of us to say it, but it's not okay for Bia to say it? If Bia says it, you're going to attack her, irrespective of the fact that Bia wasn't talking to you. She wasn't talking about you. Why would you attack Bia and not attack everyone else? What's wrong with Bia? She has scales? She has fins? And that is why I said I want Bia to clap back at her. And now Bia has, and I'm happy that Bia did. And now her fans, they're saying, oh my God, Bia is so obsessed. And people are saying, no, Bia is not, because Bia was minding her business. She's the one who's obsessed with Bia. Bia commented on something that everyone was talking about. You know? So kudos to you, Bia, for standing up for yourself. And I hope you keep standing up for yourself, because I hate a bully. I hate a bully. Cardi B is a bully. She is. And she pretends as though she's not. She loves to throw rocks and hide her hands. She's a bully. She is. But let me know what you guys think, and we're gonna talk some more in the comment section. Peace.